Okay, welcome back to America Radio X-Ray. This is a common little channel, just keeping up with Ryan Hall. Those guys are chasing weather out in the Midwest right now. Scanning on the station over here. Things have changed a little bit. The scanning station is to my left. There's a little over half dozen shelf-top receivers, a little less than half a dozen uh, portable receivers, assortment of handy talkies. Pretty much go portable from everything from 11 meters up through GMRS. That's the railroad, by the way. It's on a handy talkie right now, or just a scanner receiver. Behind and above the camera is the Motorola Astra Spectra, what I use for the nets. I have other equipment on the desk, just to the right. 70 centimeters of GMRS. There's the fire department on the scanner radio app that you can download to any device. It's kind of fun to listen to. It's about the only thing encrypted I can listen to without a scanner receiver, and kind of helps me keep up with what's going on around the city of Richmond. Now it's a good time to go ahead and get your pad and your pen, whatever writing device you want to use, and learn how to take down check-ins for the net as if you were net control yourself on your own net in your local area. The NCO is going to change. It's going to be a different person tonight. This again is going to be the Metro Richmond ARES Net, newly titled a couple of weeks ago, and we're just going to participate. We're going to check in for the net ourselves, listen to what's going on. There will be a nightly topic. Nightly, I say. They call it a topic of the day, but it's after 6 o'clock, or will be after 6 o'clock. Actually, will be after 7 o'clock Eastern time by the time you watch this video. Net control will take control of the MRA. That's at 145.430 megahertz. That's it right there. Affectionately known as the 543 machine. Net control, when he takes control of the frequency or the frequency pair, the repeater itself, he'll give a preamble and give a housekeeping, I think they call it, rules, what have you, outlines of the net. Taking check-ins, usually starts with portables and mobiles first. I'm trying to think as we go along here. I don't have the preamble in front of me. Taking check-ins for particular officers from particular organizations. And then the general check-ins is usually when I check in. Be participating or not, we shall see. But typical weekly nighttime net for Aries for practice. I know it seems a lot like it's just a rag chew net, and it may be quite boring to many of you. They may be quite slow. It may behoove you to go ahead and start your video at a faster speed. Normally when I watch videos on YouTube, I run them at 1.5 times the speed of normal speed, sometimes 2 times the speed, because a lot of us content providers, we really are very slow. And for me, it's helpful just to speed it up, kind of run things along, and they seem to be normal or talk normal at 1.5 times the speed as opposed to regular speed. So if you don't mind a seemingly boring net, sit back and watch as we record people's conversations on the radio. As for me, I'm ready to take down check-ins for the net. Kind of like a backup net control if the case may be warranted. Most of the time it's not, but it's good practice for me. And personally, I log contacts on VHF and UHF anyways. It's kind of a CYA, if you will, in case anyone ever questions the validity or the operation of my station. And at least look back in my logs and I can say, hey, when did you have problems regarding my station? And if they mention a date or time that's not on the log, they don't have anything to stand on, because obviously I didn't do anything at that time or day to cause any interference, if that's the case. Sorry about the overbearing glow behind me. There is a lamp. It's got one LED bulb, and I'm kind of blocking it with my body here. Otherwise, it would just wash out the camera. I'm going to have to get a more soft light, I guess, for future videos.
Good evening. This is Kilo November 4, Kilo November Lima, calling the Metro Richmond ARES Net for Thursday, April the 25th. Your net control station for this evening is KN4KNL. My name is Larry, Lima Alpha Romeo Romeo Yankee. If at any time during this net you should need to relay emergency traffic, please use the word brake and the net will yield for your traffic and assist in any way we can. Metro Richmond ARES is part of the ARRL and the Virginia Section ARES program. This net meets weekly on Thursdays at 1900 hours on this, the 145.730 repeater. If this repeater fails, the net will move to the 146.880 repeater with a positive offset and a PL tone of 74.4 hertz. The purpose of this net is for training and announcements for the amateur radio community with the emphasis on emergency communication.
Whoops, where'd you go, Larry?
We ask that all participating stations follow standard net procedures that would be used during an active emergency net. There is no requirement to be an ARES member. All amateurs who are within range of this repeater, regardless of location or affiliation with proper license class, are invited and encouraged to participate in this net. This is KN4KNL with the Metro Richmond ARES Net. Some general housekeeping before I get started with check-ins. This is a directed net, which means stations must be acknowledged by net control and CS before proceeding with comments or discussion. Tonight I will be taking check-ins in two groups. The first group will be mobile and portable stations. The second group will be all other stations. When checking in, if you are an ARES, MCOM, or Skywarn leader, please identify your affiliation when checking in. One feature of the net is the discussion of the day. The discussion of the day is intended to be a fun way to learn more about amateur radio, emergency preparedness, and general safety, so we hope everyone will participate. Tonight's topic is logging contacts. Do you log local contacts when using VHF or UHF? Similarly, with HF contacts, do you log them? Finally, if you do log contacts, do you use paper or one of the software programs such?
Why does he disappear like that? One of those things we can iron out during a net.
This is KN4KNL with the Metro Richmond ARES Net. When initially checking in, I only need your call sign phonetically and said slowly using the proper ITU alphabet. I will get your location and signal report when I come back for your comments. To avoid doubling when you first check in, please say this is mic for a second, see if anyone else is chiming in, then proceed if there is no doubling. This is Kilo November 4 Kilo November Lima with the Metro Richmond ARES Net. I will now call for check-ins from mobile and portable stations. All mobile and portable stations wishing to check in, please call now.
Same two guys?
This is
No.
Kilo Mike 4 Whiskey Sierra Echo. Romeo Mike Victor.
Different double tonight.
Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot, Mike, Ron, Romeo Oscar, November.
This is
Kilo 4, Echo, X-ray, Ron in Northchester.
is Kilo Mike 4 Whiskey Sierra Echo Mobile. Net hold. Mobile station, I did not get your call sign. Would you please call again with your call sign? I may have gotten that wrong. The last station checking in, I did not get your full call sign. Would you please call again, please? Apologies. Kilo Mike 4 Whiskey Sierra Echo. Kilo Mike 4 Whiskey Sierra Echo. Mobile name here is Lima. Lima India Alpha Mike.
Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot, Mike, Ron, Romeo Oscar, November.
You've already checked in.
This is Whiskey 4 Papa Kilo Romeo W4 PKR Jim Western Henrico.
Net control, this is
Are all these guys portable and mobile?
4 RAM, Kilo Quebec 4, Romeo Alpha, Mike, Will in Hanover.
Now, these guys are supposed to be given call signs and names only at this time.
Okay, I need the station with the first station checking in with the last letters RMZ. You to call in again with your full call sign and your first name, please.
Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo Mike Victor, first name Papa Julia PJ.
Thank you very much. I also have KD6FS Mike, Ron, K4EXX Don, and the mobile station, I'm still missing a letter. I know you're Kilo Mike 4 Whiskey. Could you do your call sign again? Net control, Kilo Mike 4 Whiskey Sierra Echo KM4 Whiskey Sierra Echo. Name here is Liam. Lima India Alpha Mike.
I should have caught that. We've talked
Kilo
to each other
Mike
at least twice.
4 Oscar Whiskey or Whiskey Oscar?
Whiskey Sierra Echo,
Whiskey
WSE.
Sierra Echo. Whiskey Sierra Echo. I think I have it now. Sorry for all the confusion. Kilo Mike 4 Whiskey Sierra Oscar. Is that correct?
Echo.
Negative net
net control, Whiskey Sierra Echo, Whiskey Sierra Echo, lost letter Echo.
Okay, we'll come back to you. I also have KQ4 Romeo, Mike, Will in Hanover, and W4 PKR Jim. Are there any other mobile or portable stations wishing to check in? Please call now.
This is November 4, Alpha Romeo Bravo, Arts, Alpha Romeo Tango in Richmond.
This is Whiskey 4 Zulu Alpha Kilo, John, in and out. This is Kilo Quebec 4 Papa Juliet Alpha, Kenny in Chesterfield.
This is
It's Frank.
Kilo Quebec 4, Lima Tango Hotel. Frank, in and out.
Oh, come on, Frank. Don't go away.
Stations, mobile extra stations, you're on a directed net. Please cease. KO4RNT.
Okay, additional stations that I have is N4ART, W4ZAK, and KQ4 DJA. Do I have those call signs correct?
Kilo Quebec 4 Papa Juliet Alpha, KQ4 PJA, that's Kenny.
Okay, Kenny, I have you, KQ4 PJA. Thanks very much. We'll now go to general check-ins. All other stations wishing to check into the Metro Richmond ARES Net. This is Kilo November 4, Kilo November Lima. All other stations wishing to check in, please call now.
Net control. This is Kilo 4 Alpha Romeo X-Ray, William.
This is
Scott.
Kilo Oscar 4 Uniform Oscar Romeo Scott, Western Henrico. This is
Randy.
Kilo Oscar 4 Kilo Alpha Delta, Randy in Western Henrico.
Also net manager.
This is Kilo Quebec 4 Mike Echo Foxtrot, Mark.
I was checking in when it was for mobiles and portables. I came in late, so I'm not a mobile or portable.
That was Jim, W4PKR, identifying as a stationary operator.
This is Kilo Oscar 4 Romeo November Echo David.
Seems to be some sensitivity issues with their microphones. I don't
This
know.
is Whiskey 4 Romeo Tango Hotel 5, in and out.
Hi, Bob. Here's an inside joke for that.
Scott, KO4KAD Randy, KQ4MEF Mark, KO4RNT David, and W4RTH in and out. Are there any other general check-ins? Please call now.
That's a lot tonight. And we're barely 20 minutes into the net, maybe 15. I think I started a little early.
Okay, hearing none, let's get started with tonight's topic. If you remember, the topic of the day is logging contacts. Do you log contacts either locally for VHF, UHF? Do you log contacts HF? And if you do log, are you doing it with paper or using one of the many software programs that's available? And maybe if you are using a software program, you can make a comment about how easy or hard it was for you to get started with that program. So let's go to the mobile station, and I know I was still getting one letter wrong, but mobile station, please call now and give any comments you would like, please.
Control, if that was intended to be me, KM4WSE. Negative, I do not log local contacts much beyond the call sign, and I generally will do that on my iPhone in the notes application, and when obviously when stopped, or when operating portable at the QTH. Back to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Next on the list is KO4RMV. Your comments on the topic or any other comments you would like to make for the net tonight?
There's PJ.
Good evening, Larry, and the rest of the net. I appreciate you holding this for us. I am new to ham. I've only had my ham license for about 2 years, but just pulled out my radio this week, or last week, for the first time in a long time, and really enjoying being back on the airwaves. Really getting excited, really hoping to start going to some of these club meets and meeting up with all of you. I do not log contacts as it is of right now. I just always considered that to be more of an HF thing, and I've just never played around with HF. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm headed up to Ham Radio Outlet to hopefully purchase the ICOM 5100. Really looking forward to that if anybody's got any good advice out there tonight. And outside of that, I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for listening.
Well, happy birthday, PJ.
Back to net control.
Many happy returns.
Buying a new radio, always a big adventure. Also going up and down 95 to the HRO outlet is another adventure in itself. Haven't been up there for quite a while, but I've had my good times and I've had my bad times on I-95 going there and back. Next on the list is KD6FFM Ron. Your comments for the net tonight, please.
Put that to 6, Foxtrot, Mike, Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November. I write down my logins on paper, then I type them up on Microsoft Word, and I put the date, the time, next control station, and if I have any problems checking, and I've been doing this since 2013.
All right, Ron, doing it a good long time, and I came to the conclusion that it was a good thing to do. One reason is if you're net control like I am tonight, or you're wishing to be net control, and there's an emergency net, you might have a helper and you might not have a helper, and you can see with my experience tonight that sometimes getting a call sign
Too much light.
correct can be trying for one reason or another. But I found out, going back to the group was active, actually doing a net that beginning to do that gave me more facility by taking the check-ins to a net. So that's one consideration. Next on the list, let's go to KQ4 Romeo Alpha Mike. Will, and hand over your comments, Will, for the net tonight, please.
This is KQ4RAM. Will and Hanover. Thanks, Larry. I'm a new ham, just got my license 3 weeks ago. Did not have a chance to check in last week. But I do quite a bit of note-taking on paper when talking on the local repeater here. Write down call signs. I'll check that out on QRZ. Interesting enough, I was in Pennsylvania last week, and we have a very active ham community up there, and I've made a lot of contacts up there. But yeah, I think when I go HF in the very near future, I'll do more official knowledge. And that could include some software. Back to you, Net Control.
Well, thank you for those comments, Will, and also welcome to Amateur Radio World with your relatively new license. Hope to see you maybe in some gatherings. Summer Field Day is coming up at the end of June. That's only a scant 2 months away, so I know Powhatan Area Radio Club and the RATS Group, Richmond Amateur Telecommunications Society, or RARC, I can't get confused with the two who do field days, but I know one of those radio clubs will also be doing summer field day. Next on my list, I have N4ART. If I have that wrong, please correct me and also give me your name, please.
I think you skipped a few stations.
Good evening to the net. This
I
is
could be
Art,
wrong.
Alpha Romeo Tango. The call sign is N for Alpha Romeo Bravo. So I may have confused you there during the check-in. I don't normally do any official logs. I've got a few things up on QRZ and Logbook of the World, but this past couple years I've been, whenever I'm on the radio, mainly on 2-meter and repeater work, so I really don't do any official logs. I will jot down a few things, especially if I get into a conversation that was interesting. I'll jot down the call signs and a little field notes I keep in the truck. Or that's my main radio in the Jeep. But on a portable handheld, I'm on an HT tonight. I've been trying to check in more now that I don't have to be in the truck during nets. So maybe I'll be around a little bit more frequently. Back to net control from November 4, Alpha Romeo Bravo.
Okay, thanks for staying with me. Got the Bravo now at the end of the call sign.
It's a nice mistake.
Next on my list is KQ4PJA. Kenny, I believe. Kenny, any comments for the net tonight?
Hi, thank you. This is KQ4PJA. I'm also a new ham, I think. I checked in on this net a few weeks ago, and I think that's the only local net I've checked into so far. I've only had my license maybe about 4 or 5 weeks now. And this net is a good time where my son's at basketball and I can sit in the truck and get on it. So I do not do any logging. At least I have not yet. I would imagine maybe when I acquire some HF capabilities that maybe I'll start doing that. But I haven't been on the air too much, hoping to get on a little bit more often. But as of now, I don't have any official logging. Other than that, it's KQ4PJA, back to net control.
Looks like I'm next.
Well, thanks very much. Hope to hear you consistently on the nets. You probably know about some of the other nets, but at the end of this net tonight, I will be mentioning the other nets that are active during the week if you need your memory refreshed about that. Next on the list is K4ARES. William, your comments for the net tonight, please.
Just all the radios down. Net control, K4ARES here, William in Chaco Valley. You know all this. As far as logging goes, we've got lots of folks here that don't do this as a routine for VHF and UHF, but I'm like you, Larry. Right now, as we speak, I'm doing a backup log, if you will, as if I were a secondary net control. And I have logged every station and every comment thus far for the net. I also do the same for the home station while I'm here, be it VHF or UHF. This is a backup log for me. I do this on paper at first, and when it's necessary, when it's requested, I will use QRZ. But otherwise, this is protection for me in case someone has any complaints during the complex. For instance, I can get out there and walk around, go shopping, carry an HT with me. It's no big deal, 4 watts or less. But here in the complex, I can run anywhere between 20 and 50 watts, and that might cause an issue. You would think these days with modern technology, you might not interfere. Well, just in case, if someone says, hey, you're causing interference, we know it's you, I can say, okay, what day, what time? Can you describe? If they can't match my logs, and I can show them my logs, the date and time I operated, how long, so on and so forth, that could disprove their complaint. And even if there is a valid complaint, I can at least help them out in some form or fashion. But it protects myself because I'm keeping some form of logs. Back to net control, K4ARES. That's why I log.
William, you state excellent reasons for keeping a log. It was before my time as a ham. I think I'm a ham about 8 years now. But I know in the past, the FCC actually used to require stations to keep a log of every contact.
In their own printed book.
And I'm not sure when the year was they did away with that requirement, but I think particularly if you're doing HF, as you said, William, having a log might be a good safety valve should any type of questions arise.
Self-policing your own station.
This is Kilo November 4, Kilo November Lima with the Metro Richmond ARES Net. Next we have KO4UOR. Scott, your comments for the net tonight, please.
It's chicken scratch, but I know what it says. I promise.
Good evening, Larry, and everyone on the net. This is Scott, KO4UOR. Let's see. I think you were talking primarily about VHF, UHF logging, and the answer to that is no. I don't log repeater contacts. I don't log simplex contacts unless it's of an unusual nature, like a SOTA QSO or a POTA QSO or, well, my one and only, what's it called? Aeronautical mobile with an airline pilot at 34,000 feet.
Certification of participation in a contest.
But any logging I do is first on paper. For HF, I do log on QRZ. I really like that simple program and usually have it up on my computer. And if I'm activating POTA, Away from the home QTH, I use hammers, HAMRS, and then I upload the ADI file to QRZ and to Parks on the Air. So no to local logging with a few exceptions. KO4UOR, back to net control.
Well, thank you, Scott. One reason that I don't do it all the time, but doing VHF local contacts, and you might be interested and see this as a reason to start doing it, Scott, since you're very invested in the simplex net. By doing a logging on a software program, you can go to the next level and actually map where those stations are in relation to where you are, and that would give you the distance and gives you the direction to that station. A few weeks ago when we were, revitalizing the net and deciding on whether we would have one or two stations alternating, I was able to do a quick map and send it on to Randy that showed a good number of the folks were on the north side of the James, which would put them more in contact with this repeater. The one.
Got a few minutes per
The 145.730 repeater. So just a thought, because getting into mapping opens a whole nother world. Okay, next on the list is Randy KO4KNL, the manager of this net. Now, Randy, your comments for the net tonight, please.
KN4KNL, KO4KAD. Good evening, Larry. My comments are gonna kind of mirror Scott's. I really don't log UHF, VHF, except occasionally simplex contacts. I do log all my HF stuff, and I use primarily QRZ. It's very simple, and as Scott said, I have it up on my laptop all the time. I do use paper occasionally as well. I have sticky notes all over the place with call signs and times. If I'm at my other desk without my laptop. So, and I do use hammers when I'm doing proto. So yeah, that's about all I've got. One other quick comment for everybody listening. We are looking for net control stations to do one net per month.
That's about it.
If you have any interest, please email me at ko4kad at gmail.com. 73 is ko4kad, back to net control.
Okay, thank you, Randy. As I think many of you know on the net, I am going to be moving to North Carolina, not imminently, but probably by July 1st. I will be down there, and so I will be out of the rotation for this net. So if anyone is interested, please email Randy, and anyone at the rotating net controls could help you get you started and help get you comfortable in the role. Next on the list is KQ4MEF. Mark, your comments for the net tonight.
I may have to volunteer for that. Go through the training.
Yeah, good evening, Larry. Good evening, everyone on the net. I guess kind of fall in line with Randy and Scott.
No
I did
laws.
keep kind of I'll say a rough paper log of VHF local contact.
Coffee pot check.
Also do paper for HF, and then log on QRZ. That seems to be the most friendly to log with. I did go through the steps to get Logbook of the World, and it seems to be a little more challenging, a little harder to, it's not as intuitive as QRZ is. So that's about it. So with that, I will hand it back over to you, Larry. This is KQ4MEF.
Okay, thank you for your comments, Mark, and your transmission was very clear. Next we go to short timers, David KO4RNT. Your comments for the net tonight, David, please.
KO4RNT, David, North Chesterfield. I have logged some of the HF. I'm at a problem doing the NetLogger, trying to log on NetLogger because it kept changing too fast for my eyes on my laptop. I have to get a bigger screen. Logging on VHF, UHF, no, I don't do that for the most of that is local nets and whatever. I am thinking about logging some of the wires X contacts where they're like really far away. At UK, 3,960 miles, and there were some out in Kansas City at 600 some miles, and but those are kind of rare and special. Those aren't Virginia rooms necessarily. Anyway, that's what I do. I'm going to get more into logging. I have FJP, I think it is, and I like that one. I also like the QRZ, but I'm thinking about Polo for POTA and SOTA contacts. Polo seems to be newer and very easy. With that, I will head back to net control, KO4RNT, back to net control.
So apparently I'm special.
Thank you, David.
You know, one of the few that actually logs these
One of the
contacts.
things that I've thought
VHF
of
and
as
UHF.
I've been hearing people speak, that maybe it would be worth a follow-up, and I could do it. I will be here to do my turn in May, and so keep this in mind, those that are doing logging, particularly if you're using a software program, could run a net in May where we could get deeper into a description of the logging program and how difficult or easy you found it, and also some of the features. For example, I use Hammers, which is basically designed for POTA, Parks on the Air logging, but it also has a generic template in it, which would make it very easy to put any kind of context in there that you would want. And the other advantage of these software programs, as far as I know, all of the programs are capable of automatically generating what is known as an ADIF file. And that's the file you need to put into a mapping program. And the most prominent mapping program out there is QSOMAP. And it's very easy once you have an ADF file, if you're registered with the QSOMAP program. You just upload your file in zippity-doo-dah-bang. That program creates a map for you. And I find it anyway very interesting to do. Last one on the list here was W4RTH, I believe, who was in and out. So we are at the end of our check-ins. Are there any new general check-ins that would like to check in to the Metro Richmond ARES Net? This is Kilo November 4, Kilo November Lima Net Control. Please come with your call sign and first name, please.
This is Whiskey 4 Papa Kilo Romeo.
This is
Please.
This is Kilo Quebec 4 Lima Tango Hotel.
That's a recheck. Frank. Welcome back, Frank. Oh, that's two rechecks, actually. That's the two.
This is Whiskey 4 Zulu Alpha Kilo, John, recheck.
Three rechecks.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to W4PKR Jim because I believe I skipped him in the rotation. I had him written down on the side and skipped over him as I was coming.
Yet another honest mistake. It happens. Another reason to log.
Coming through. And then W4ZAK, John, I think I must have skipped you as well. And the two stations in between after W4PKR, you were not very clear at all, either station. 4PKR and W4ZAK. W4PKR.
But I don't just take logs. I might jot stuff down if I'm on the local repeater and I'm in a position to jot stuff down just so I can remember someone's name and call sign that I've talked to, particularly if I don't know their call sign. But I don't keep an official log for local repeater use. So with that, I'll send it back to KN4KNL. This is
These are both seasoned net control operators.
Okay, thanks, Jim. W4ZAK, John, your comments, please.
Don't hold
Like
to
most
it.
other
Go to the
folks, I
side.
don't log most of my UHF, VHF contacts. I log a couple of them, but I do log my HF contacts, and I use QRZ. And QRZ will feed the logbook of the world. It's just go into settings and export your data. You can import your data. So QRZ does have an interface for the logbook of the world. And I think one of those stations LTH. Over.
That was
Okay, thank you very much, John. Running into some difficulty. My transceiver is overheating now and again. I think I can keep it going till the net ends, but there might be an interruption or two until that time. Now, those two stations that came in after W4PKR, would the first station come back, please, and speak up loudly because your transmission was very weak. Go ahead, please.
Relay.
Okay, relay, please.
That would be Frank. KQ4LTH, Kilo Quebec 4, Lima Tango Hotel. He attempted to check in twice. So they're both the same station. KQ4LTH, Frank.
There was a lot of noise. I know the name was Frank. Can you give me the call sign again, please?
Yeah, that should be KQ4LTH, Kilo Quebec 4, Lima Tango Hotel. K4ARS.
Okay, good. Quebec 4, Lima Tango Hotel. And was there one other station that I didn't get? Please call now, or is there a relay?
Yes, Larry, I was just going to ask on my recheck if you could check your list and tell me who maybe the second or third person that checked in was.
It was you, Don. And yes, you got skipped, sir.
Okay, we'll do at the end here. But if Frank is listening and would like to try another transmission with comments for the net, KQ4LTH, please make your comment.
So Larry, everybody else in the net, I hope I'm coming in better now. I checked in before. I thought I wouldn't be here for the whole net, but I was able to get back. I heard you calling for check-ins again, so I checked in. I do keep a paper log, a notebook. I have the
Good job.
frequency of the contact, the person I talked to and their names. I can look back, see what the name is, the time, and the date. And then I use QRZ for all my simplex contacts. So I do have the paper log and QRZ. That's all my contacts, so I turn it back to you. This is KQ4LTH.
He's learning fast.
Okay, Frank, sounds like you're getting organized very well with your logging programs. Thanks for your patience and sticking in there to get your comments in. Let me take a break here just for a second, and I will be back giving other nets.
About 6 minutes to spare.
Okay, K4EXX Don, was that you with the recheck wanting to know who might have checked in right around when you did?
B-double-X. So under the portables and handheld units, I was just wondering who checked in, like the second or third person to check in.
It's not a contest, it's a net. And I don't think Larry understands the question.
Well, one of the stations checking in was KD6FFM Ron, and then I had missed W4PKR Jim. Are either one of those that you were searching for?
No, I'm
was looking for my call sign, but you must have missed it. Appreciate it. Back to Ned.
And what is your call sign?
K4EXX.
Kilo 4, Echo, X-ray, X-ray.
Roger, Don, and I called on you for did I not?
Well, no.
No, you did not. So if you want to, just mark me as in and out.
It was too late for that.
Okay, that was just an oversight on my part. Do you have any comments to make?
Another honest mistake.
No, not now. Just mark me in and out. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Don. Sorry for skipping over you on the list. Now going to give the other nets that happen during the week. On Monday nights at 1900 hours, the Powhatan ARES Net meets on the 147.315 repeater with a positive offset and a PL tone of 74.4 hertz. Also on Monday nights, the Goochland County MCOM Net meets at 2000 hours on the 147.270 repeater with a positive offset and a PL tone of 203.5 hertz. Also on Tuesday nights, the Dinwiddie County ARES Net meets at 1900 hours on the 147.390 repeater with a positive offset and a PL tone of 74.4. Additionally, on Tuesday nights, the Chesterfield ARES Net meets at 2100 hours and is called by David KN4KNL on the 147.360 repeater with a positive offset, but it has no required tone. Also on Tuesday, there's the Chesterfield ARES. If you would like to check into that WinLink net, you can go to Chesterfield ARES, all one word, ChesterfieldARES.org, and can get information about that net. On Wednesday, all day long, you can check into the WinLink Wednesday net by sending David KN4LQN a message through WinLink. You can find additional information by putting into your web browser original Wednesday WinLink net. Original WinLink Wednesday net will get you the additional information for checking in on Wednesdays. Also on Wednesday night at 2100 hours, the Tri-Cities MCOM net meets on the WA4MC repeater at 147.390 megahertz with a positive offset and a PL tone of 74.4 hertz. One last call before I close the net for tonight. Are there any late check-ins to the Metro Richmond ARES Net? This is Kilo November 4, Kilo November Lima, looking for any late check-ins to the net. Please call now.
I guess I could hit the one switch and just turn it all off at once instead of one at a time. It's all on a power strip.
Nothing heard. Before closing the net, I would like to thank all of you who checked in tonight, particularly those who I had trouble with their call signs and stuck in there and helped me along. Finally, I would like to thank the Metropolitan Repeater Association for the use of this repeater, the KGMRA repeater, on 145.730. And of course, this repeater will be used next Thursday at 1900 hours is for the Metro Richmond ARES Net. This is Kilo November 4, Kilo November Lima, closing the Metro Richmond ARES Net and returning this repeater to its normal operation.
KN4KNL, K4ARX for short.
W4ARX, William, go ahead, please.
Hey, just wanted to give you a word of encouragement there. You did a bang-up job. It's had a couple honest mistakes, which is understandable, could happen to anybody. It's no real issue. It seems to be a contest to check in as portables every week. It's usually Ron and Don, and it's a race to the top of the list. Who's first, who's second? What I have, as a matter of interest, is KM4, let's see, WSE, that was Liam. He was the first prefix I picked up. The first suffix I picked up was KO4RMVPJ. That was 1 and 2. Then Ron, then Don, and then Jim, which happened to be skipped as well. And that's okay. It's always a big race. It's just a practice net, and we should be just checking in to practice with each other. If you want a real contest, we all know it's field day. I'll give you that challenge, and we can see how many contacts we can get. But anyways, great job. We appreciate you running the net. KN4KNL from K4ARX.
Okay, William, thanks for coming back and giving those comments. Really appreciate it. I do wear hearing aids, and I had them in tonight. I thought that would help, but yeah, there were those few stations that really gave me trouble tonight.
It's okay.
So, hope to hear you. Let's see, this is Thursday night. Well, I guess I won't hear you until one of the nets next week. W4ARX, this is KN4KNL.
Yeah, I'm on every day. You don't have to wait for a net. Just listen out. 7 3s. Catch you soon. Take care. We understand. KN4KNL from K4ARX. And I will be clear, because I'm going outside. Not portable. Oh, why are you still here?